Hi, College and Career Success Summer 2020. This is Dr. Linda Remark, and I'm just doing a screen share video today to kind of kick off this semester. And so I wanted to start by going over just some real general Blackboard course information and then walk you through some of the stuff you'll be doing this first week. So as you know, hopefully, through my emails, through the college website, your week 1 starts on a Friday, which is May 29th, and it goes till June 7th. So our course will always run, with the exception of this week, from Monday to Sunday, with new weeks opening up every Monday morning. So the semester starting on a Friday just simply means you're going to have a few extra days to get in and get things done, which is definitely beneficial. So when you first log in, you'll be taken to the section that you see here on your page where it's the Start Here area. It gives you a quick course overview of what you can expect. And then down here is basically a bunch of resources for the college, for Blackboard, for Computer Basics, resume. So anything you might need just a little extra help on, feel free to explore and click around there. Now, a lot of you will kind of go right into here to the syllabus section. Now, if you've been checking your email, I already sent you our syllabus just so you could kind of take a look ahead of time. But here it is electronically in our course. Now, the master syllabus is just kind of a general overview. You can see here it basically just says, okay, it's a 3 credit hour course. There's the course description and the general learning outcomes and course objectives. So it's kind of like a blanket statement. Every course has a master course, and then it's just a little different up here. What's more specific is our class syllabus. So this is what I sent you all. So your class syllabus is more catered to the class that you are taking right now. So you'll go in and you'll see that, this again is summer 2020. My name is Dr. Remark. Now, because the college is closed to regular face-to-face classes, I am not in my office this summer at all. So I'm not holding regular office hours as I might normally during the summer semester. So you can only really contact me through Zoom or Collaborate, or we can arrange a phone call if you feel like you need to talk to me. I still get my voicemail, so you can always feel free to call and leave a voicemail, and it'll go to my email so that I know that someone has been contacting me on my phone. So here you'll see we do have a textbook, and I sent that information to you again in your email, so you had a chance to try to purchase it. There is a 3rd edition. I know I had a couple people ask me if they could get the 2nd edition. Normally, I would say that's okay. However, when they went from the 2nd to the 3rd edition, they did like a real revamp of the book. They changed chapters around, they took a lot of stuff out, they reconstructed some things. So the 3rd edition really is a lot different than the 2nd edition. So please make sure you get that 3rd edition, and you can pick up from the college bookstore, or if you know someone who's taken this class before, or if you can find it on Amazon or wherever. So you'll see here's how we're assessed. So you're going to have required assignments in each week, each chapter. Everything's going to be submitted through Blackboard or email attachment, obviously, since we are not face-to-face. You will have discussion prompts. So for every chapter, as well as the introduction, you're going to have a discussion prompt. And those discussion prompts are 250 words. So if you can see in the bottom of my screen here, word counts for you. So Microsoft Word counts how many words you have. So, and this takes the place in a normal face-to-face class, we would have journals and that are 250 words. So that's why the discussion prompts are 250 words. So you'll respond to the prompt, and I'll show you those here shortly. And then after you post your original, you're going to respond to 2 classmates. So, and when I say respond to 2 classmates, it's not just like, yay, I agree. It's a substantial response, meaning, okay, here's what I think about this. So, at least a sentence or 2, not just 1 or 2 words. For attendance purposes, because we are online, every week you have to submit by Wednesday at 11:55. That's how I know you've been checking and you're online. Now, that's not to say that, oh, you missed the attendance post, you don't do it at all. You can still do it because it's its own set of points. You just missed the attendance points. So still complete those assignments. So please make sure you're responding in your original post for discussion by Wednesdays at 11:55, and then respond to those 2 classmates by Sunday. All other assignments will be due Sunday night. As I mentioned before, new weeks open Monday morning. Each week you're also going to have a college resource, most weeks anyway, and you'll kind of do like a reflection on those, and I will talk more about them as you see them. Every chapter, there are 7 chapters, you will have a quiz. They're going to be short answer, and because you have resources at your disposal, you're going to make sure you answer those questions thoroughly in about 2 to 5 complete sentences. There will be a final project. I will upload videos and directions separately because if you're meeting face-to-face, you will be doing that project and presenting it. Obviously, in this format, you're not going to present it, but you're still going to go over the final project. And there's a career services assignment. I will upload videos over all of this information to give you more facts about it. So that's just kind of an overview of what you're going to be graded on. Here is your grading scale and just some general, like, frequently asked question format. So it's like, is there extra credit? If I miss an attendance, what do I do? So make sure you read over those questions so that you can get a good sense of what the expectations are. And then here's just some information from the college. If you plan to withdraw from any course that's an 8-week course here at the college, which the ours fits under, you have until July 13th to withdraw. And then the last section of the official syllabus is the calendar. And you'll see I have that section separately right here as well. So if you just wanted the calendar, it's back under that syllabi section, and you can get the calendar only if you didn't want to look at the whole syllabus. But that goes through and it'll tell you, okay, here in this week, there are the dates, what are we going over, and then the exact assignments and when they're going to be due. I also have the point breakdown and original posts and all of that. So hopefully that'll keep you on track so you know exactly when everything is due. And that goes through the end of the semester. And then the last page breaks down, again, not the last page, again, the last section. It breaks down the scoring so you know exactly how many points each assignment is worth, so you know where your grades are going. And then, as I mentioned before, you're going to have kind of a reflection on the college resources. We won't have that in the first week, so you don't have to worry about that quite yet, but in week 2 you will have this, so I will talk about that when we do see that in week 2. And then good news, if you like getting started early on things, I have your directions to your final project already in your syllabus. Yay! I don't expect you to start working on it yet, but you have access to it early as can be. I will start talking about your final project in about week 4. So you have, halfway through the semester, I will start talking about your final project and the expectations and how you're going to be graded on that. So just keep that in mind. So there is our syllabus. Now, again, the start here is just where you're going to go to get those resources and the syllabi. Course messages is if you need to get a hold of me. I will always send messages through email, announcements, and course messages, but you can always respond when you get a message from me in the inbox. You can go in and you can respond to that there. I will also post my announcements here. This is an old announcement from previous semesters, but here's where you're going to see announcements. Anything I send in announcements, again, is going to be in email and in Blackboard messages. And then you also have 24/7 access to your grades. You can see how well you're doing, and I try to grade very quickly, within the day or two that an assignment is submitted. Okay, now I'm going to get out of Student Preview so that you can see the Lessons tab here. So right now, everything's kind of hidden because it will open up per date. So tomorrow morning at 12:30 a.m., week 1 will open. So eventually this will be in color and you'll be able to click in there. So every week's going to be set up just the same. So it's nice and easy to follow. It's going to give you a quick overview, like, okay, what are we doing in this chapter, this section? What things do I have to read? And then what assignments do I have to complete? And so all of these are already on your syllabus, but they're stated there. And I will also put it in your announcements and your messages and your emails so you know exactly what to expect to do each week. Okay. Below that, typically you're just going to have 2 folders. Materials, it's just what it sounds like. Materials are going to be any slides or websites you're going to need. In this case, we just have some slides. And then assignments is going to be your assignments for the week. So let me go ahead and walk you through the introduction first, because this is just what it sounds like, introducing you to our textbook and to our chapter. So if you have a physical textbook already, your introduction starts over on page 3. And the objectives, every chapter is going to have some objectives at the beginning telling you what you're going to go through. So the first few pages, the introduction really is rather quick. It goes basically from page 3 to page 10, so only about 7 pages. It's going to talk about expectations and how important it is to kind of be aware of the expectations, especially if this is your very first semester, and I'm sure it's an odd way to start your college career in the middle of a pandemic, but it's still important to know all these expectations that college instructors and the college in general have for you. So you want to have that strong start. So it talks about expectations starting on page 4, and it goes into depth about the syllabus, which is what we just kind of previewed, and how important it is to read the syllabus, be familiar with the syllabus. I know what I typically do as a student is I'll get the syllabus and I'll go through and I'll plug all those dates on my calendar or my assignment book, whatever you want to call it, so that all of those assignments are in there and I know what's coming. So make sure you're familiar with the syllabus, make sure you are okay with it, because part of your week 1 is a syllabus quiz. So you're going to be kind of quizzed over the syllabus, some general policies. Also, making sure that you're familiar with the resources that your campus has. So over on page 7, it starts talking about resources. And that's one of my goals in this course, is to introduce you to a resource of the college, almost every week. So after week 1, you'll see starting in week 2, you're going to have introduction to college and campus resources, and some of them go out to the community as well, because I want you to be successful, and you can use these resources now even though we're remote, and then of course when we're back on campus you can use them in a physical way as well. Okay, so also in the introduction it talks about the importance of a first-year seminar course, which this is what this course is, how important taking courses like this are. Now, every single 2- and 4-year undergraduate student has to take classes like this. It's just one of those things where you have to do it. Research was done within the last 5 years or so to see how these courses are beneficial and what they're seeing in the results, and they are finding that taking courses such as this do help students with their GPA. They are going to be more likely to graduate on time. They're going to be more participatory in class, and they're going to have just general better sense of their career options and their community and college resources. So I know sometimes people are not a big fan of taking these kind of intro level first year type courses, but the research does say that it's helpful for students overall. And then the last couple slides here, over on page 9, there's like a list of myths or facts. So I encourage you to pull this slideshow up or even pause it on this screen. And there's 2 slides, and it goes over these myths or facts that people may have about college. And I want you to just read through those and think about those. And, do you believe them? Do you think that's a myth? Do you think that's a fact? And then in your textbook on page 9, it'll go over the answer, so to speak, on that. But I'd like to introduce that because I want you to kind of challenge yourself to see how do you feel about some of these topics as they relate to success in college. So that's the introduction. As I said, it's really quick this first week. So in terms of assignments, you'll see you have 4 assignments. The syllabus quiz and the Title IX quiz are located below, meaning they're not in any folder, they're right here. So for both of these, you'll click on this and it's going to open up into what kind of like a PowerPoint presentation, I guess. So it's going to walk you through some slides. You're going to click next. It's going to...
This presentation is designed to help you understand Title IX.
Some information.
Title IX of the Educational...
And eventually it'll ask you some questions, and then it'll automatically put your grade into the grade book. I would always recommend anytime you do something like that that's automatically graded, check the grade book to make sure it doesn't read as in progress. Give it an hour or 2 to make sure it processed, but check to make sure your grades are going through. And then the same thing with the syllabus quiz. You'll open up the syllabus quiz, and it's going to be 10 questions, a mixture of true, false, and multiple choice. So that's the syllabus quiz. So you're doing those 2 things, and then you're going to get into the assignment folder, And you'll see you have 2 assignments in here. The first assignment, this is your required chapter assignment, even though it's for the introduction. It says, preview the text by reading the 7 success strategies at a glance. So that is on page 11. And it says, identify 3 of those strategies. There are 7 of them. Identify 3 strategies that you would like to learn more about and go to that section of the text. Read those sections and write a brief summary of the key points about these topics. So again, on page 11, it has these success strategies at a glance, is where it starts. And then it goes to chapter 2 on page 12 and chapter 3 on page 13 and so on. And it talks about, all of these success strategies that you could be working on or need to improve or whatever the case may be. So you're going to look and see, okay, in chapter 1, it's going to talk about making sure that I make thorough decisions. I'm going to take a look at that section. So look through the success strategies. Again, they start talking about that on page 11 and it goes to page 17 because it goes through every chapter. Here are the success strategies in chapter 1. Here are the success strategies in chapter 2. Just kind of look and see, which of these do you think you need to work on? So again, you're only finding 3 of them out of, almost 50. Only find 3 of them and kind of go to that section in the textbook, whether it's in chapter 1, chapter 7, just kind of look at that section and then just write a brief summary of the key points about these topics, 1 to 2 paragraphs. So you're talking about 3 strategies in about 1 to 2 paragraphs. And how you do that is you click in, and if you feel comfortable, you can just click on Write Submission. So you can click on that and write your 1 to 2 paragraphs in there. Or let's say you just wanted to do a Word document. So you type your Word document, you save it as whatever you want to save it as. Just going to say Doc 5, whatever. And if I'd rather submit it, I go to Browse My Computer. I'm going to find my document. I'm going to hit Open. And right there it is. And then I would hit Submit. And that's how I can see that you have submitted that assignment. All right, the last thing you're doing is the discussion forum. And so I've put the post right here. Here's your prompt. Remember, this is the one that's 250 words or more. It says, after you have read the chapter, meaning in this case, the introduction, introduce yourself. Share at least 3 things about yourself. Share a time when you were proud of an accomplishment, an interest or hobby, and at least 1 goal. So those are the 3 things. Share at least 3 things about yourself. When you were proud of an accomplishment, an interest or hobby, and a goal you have. Those are the 3 things. And you can certainly tell us more, but at least those 3 things. So what you'll do is you'll click into the forum. You'll hit Create Thread, and you'll see the post again. And you can label the subject, introduction. You can label it, your last name, whatever you want to do. And then click right there. And that's where you'll go. Okay, so that's the introduction. And then eventually you'll see other posts right here, and you'll be able to hit reply so that you can reply to those. And that is your week 1 introduction. Again, for your discussion post, you are posting by Wednesday. So Wednesday, June 3rd. And then everything else, including your responding to 2 classmates, will be due Sunday, June 7th. So that's the rundown of your week 1. I said I'll be checking in. I'll be sending announcements and messages. So just reach out, let me know if you need anything, and I hope you all have a great first week of your summer semester. Bye.